everybody, welcome back to The Hobby Musician. You're joining us today for the thrilling conclusion of our three-part mini-series where I'm taking you along and showing you all the steps as I get my very first set of professional level custom molded in-ear monitors. Now don't worry, if you missed the first two episodes, I'll start putting links up here. The first link you see in the corner of the screen right now, that's episode 1. What we show in that is no matter what product you get, you're going to want to go through the process and get professional ear impressions made at an audiologist's office. So I take you along with me, we go in, we talk to the doctor, we ask questions, and I film the whole process so you can see what it's going to take when you get your own set. Well, now moving on to episode 2, which you see the link right now, that is the harder episode because we sit down and I talk through and I show you what you're going to have to sift through when making the decision. There's so many companies, so many models and options. I sort of show you my thought process and talk through some things that you might want to consider as you decide on what works best for your situation. Well, I'm more excited about today's episode because after all of that, after all the waiting, they have finally arrived. So today is all about unboxing, reviewing, checking them out, and seeing how they sound. Now, as a quick reminder, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so this whole process has come from kind of me wanting to do this. I did my own research, my own homework, saved up my own money, and spent my own money. So my enthusiasm is genuine. I've been thinking about this and waiting for this for a very, very long time. So what I'm going to do now, the first part of the video, I'm going to get the camera switched up. We'll get a top-down view. And we're just going to unbox it. I don't get a chance to do a lot of true unboxings on this channel, so I'm really excited about that. And then once we have everything opened up and checked out, we'll switch back and we'll give them a run through. I want to plug them in. We'll play a track that I kind of know pretty well so that way I can see and get an initial sense of how these things are going to sound. Okay, I'll get things switched up and I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, everybody, we're all set up here. Got the box, got my tools to open it. So we're gonna get started. Now, don't mind the tape. I just put that on there to kind of cover up the sensitive address information, that kind of stuff. But when the box arrived, I could kind of hear there's a lot of stuff in here. So I would kind of tip it like this. So I'm anticipating, several different things when we finally get this open. So here's what we're gonna do. It's kind of really well packaged in here. Get this open. See if I can slide it out. All right, we got, okay, fully kind of bubble wrap system. Oh, it looks like I got the bottom here, so we'll get rid of that. Flip this over. Oh goodness, okay. All right, it's a whole thing here. So, in-ears audio, it's showtime. Wow, this is really cool. This is a nice high quality box. You kind of slide out the sleeve here. Oh goodness, put that down. And then it looks like, yeah, you got this inlaid. I mean, it's all decorative. You might be thinking to yourself, so what? That doesn't matter. Well, it's a nice touch. This is a really decorative thing. And I think here, yep, this is that's a little magnetic closure. All right, so let's get this open. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. Okay, let's go through what we got here. Well, we can see our monitors right there, but actually going through, let me start over here. I believe that I read, we got a nice little, message, here from the president of the company. I believe that I read, yep, they box up and they send back our ear impressions. So in this little box, there's accessories that we'll go through here in a minute, but these are the impressions that we sent, that we got made at the audiologist's office. And when we went in, if you go back to that video, you'll see they looked a little different. So when they arrived at the company, they had to then kind of shape them and kind of mold them and trim them up so that they were appropriate for making this kind of thing. But they send them back to me. So in the future, if I want to either make a new order or something like that, I can then turn around, mail these back And they can kind of, reuse them, or over time, if you get older and your ears change, you can get a new set made. So it's really nice to have these back. Now going through, so we have some other accessories here. Yep, we've got different clips. So the clips I really like. They got a little cleaning brush in here, a little cloth, kind of a microfiber cloth to kind of wipe things off. But I want to talk a little bit, okay, we'll talk about those in a second. I'm so sorry, I'm excited about all this stuff. The clips are very important because I know for myself, when I perform, I try to run the cables, down behind me so that they don't interfere with what I'm doing in the front with my instrument. But sometimes, when they plug into like my wireless system, that kind of stuff, if the cord isn't long enough or something, it's really nice to have a clip so that you can have that extra security. And it's kind of this spring loaded, so I can move it anywhere on the cord and spring it there and then clip it to my pocket or clip it to the back of my shirt, something like that. So I really like that clip. This is the extra set of Adele modules that I ordered. So we talked about the features of this. If you go back to that video where we kind of made our choice on the features, the technology that we got in these is the Adele technology. It's these removable or interchangeable modules that can adjust the air pressure. So if you look at these, they're designed, they fit in there, and there's a little diaphragm that can change and allow different, the air pressure to be reduced or tuned. And they offer different sizes and different designs of those. So I got a couple of them, and what's in there right now are the complete isolation modules. So I wanted to have this option, but I also wanted to be able to just plug it up and treat them like average run-of-the-mill in-ear monitors, which they are currently. So that's this extra set that I've got to play with. Now coming down here, portability is also important. So here we have this really nice, padded carrying case, and we have this nicely engraved, kind of with my name, the model on this, hard shell case. So what I'll end up doing, right, roll these up, put them in the hard shell case goes in the soft shell case, and I can either clip this onto my bag, or I can pop this into my pedal board bag, just so that they're really easily accessible. So I like, it's a really cool logo, so I like kind of having all that stuff there. So great accessories to go on with this. Now for the main event, let's take a look at these. So coming out, pulling these out here. Oh, look at this. This is great. Okay, they got the cord all wired up here, but I want to take a look at these first. These are it. Now you can see red and blue, and I want to talk you through kind of my thought process here. I very long ago, I started out. My very first set of earbuds were, the cheapest thing. There was no way to really tell. They were not custom. They looked identical, and I would always get them mixed up, the right and the left. Well, I realized that there was a tiny red dot on the one that was supposed to be the right. So I just started memorizing at a very young age, red, right, red, right. So I thought, they let you pick your custom colors, and I just said, well, why don't I just make the right one all red, because it's already in my mind. And I said, well, what's a very contrasting color if I'm backstage and it's dark? Well, blue, red and blue. So red is for right, blue is for left for me. And then I just had them kind of darken the outside face of them and put that kind of silver logo on. So when they're in my ears, on stage, you really aren't going to see too much of the color because all of this is going to be in my ear. But I really like it so that when I'm working with it in and out of my ears, if it's hanging around my neck or something like that, I can see very quickly which one needs to go in there. So I'm just really amazed by this. The quality, the smoothness of all of this is really impressive. You can see in there they've engraved kind of the model, the exact serial number, my initials, all of this kind of stuff. Very nice finishes. Now, what I want to do before we finish this, I'm thoroughly impressed with all of this stuff, but I want to show a quick comparison, side-by-side comparison of the difference that you're going to get when you get custom molded to your ears. You can see even here, they've even isolated 2 different sound channels. So when they split the spectrum and the different drivers, there's a quad, 4 drivers in here. They've even isolated where the sound is going to come out. That is a super high touch. But if you look at this, this is going to fit way down in my ear canal, and it's specific to my ear canal. Now, as a comparison, if you look at this other set, so this is a set, now we did a video on this particular brand and this style a long time ago, and I'll put a link to that in the corner. But one of the things that you'll notice here, this company or this technology was one where we used our phone and on a free app, and we took a 3D scan of our ear. So you can see, if you compare, you'll notice that it looks very similar kind of in this outside part, because that's where the camera can actually see of your ear canal. So the company, they take those scans, they build the outside of it to fit your ear. But the difference comes here. The scan, this particular process, is not able to see down in your ear canal very far. So they have to put a universal kind of fit, just a universal fit barrel on this, where you then put these silicone plugs. So the difference you get is going to be this much more comfortable, much more custom fit to your ear that goes way down and sits in your ear canal, as opposed to the spring tension. You're just kind of rolling the dice. I hope I get a good fit with these silicone tips. Well, you can see now we really do have a much more personalized design. So just by measure of comparison there, I'm super pleased with that. Okay, so at this point, I mean, I want to get these in my ears, but with the camera like this, you can't see it. So here's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to switch over. I'm going to get these in, and now I'm going to start to play a track, and I really want to review what these sound like, so I can give you a sense of where we are. What is it worth it? All of that kind of stuff. So once again, give me a second. I'll switch the camera back up, and I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, everybody, we're all set up here to do the sound test. I know we're real zoomed in close because I'm right up at the computer. But you can see here, I've already got the right side in, and I wanted to talk just a little bit about just that process of putting them in. If you're brand new to kind of the world of custom molded fits, there's almost a little like pro tip as you're taking them in or putting them in and taking them out. You have to sort of think about doing a little rotation. So if I have the left one here, because the curve of your ear canal is kind of a rotated channel, you're going to want to start this. You're going to want to kind of line up the barrel that's going down in your ear almost a little too far forward. And then as it goes, you sort of rotate your hand a little bit. And as you rotate, that barrel kind of works itself down into the ear canal. And then at a certain point, that larger kind of cavity of your ear catches up, and then it will get over the edge, and you'll almost feel like a click, like it clicks into place. You won't hear an audible click, but you feel it just sort of, it falls and sits into place. And that goes along with our discussion in earlier videos about how important the fit is. And already, when I put in the right one, it just, you turn it in and boom, it clicks in. And I'm doing this one right now, boom, it just sits. And that sit, I got to tell you, I'm sort of having to gauge my voice just on muscle memory here, because I can't hear. I can't hear anything. That's how good this seal is. The only sounds that I'm hearing are like the reverberations of my voice through the bones in my head. So that is an indication of how well they have crafted these to sit perfectly touching, all the parts of my ear canal. Now, in terms of the sound, so here's what we've got. Now, I'll switch over. You can kind of see I've got a video pulled up. And one tip from me to you is if you want to kind of assess the sound of a device, one idea is try to use an a cappella track. Now, I've got one. This is pentatonic, so there's a lot of production going on here. But the reason I encourage people to use a cappella tracks is because just the approach to a cappella music is a little different. It is just vocal singers. So when groups and producers record and mix these tracks, they have to sort of mix everybody a little differently. You've got to hear the lowest lows and you got to hear the highest highs because it's just all coming from voices, and that's the point. So I'm going to play a little bit of the track. Now, I'm not going to play the audio in this video, to avoid kind of the copyright issues, but you'll see the video, kind of see where I am, and we'll just get a little bit into it. This is only meant to do some first impressions. I want to see how the tuning of these earpieces is. Is there a part of the frequency spectrum that's more or less than something else? So let's go ahead and get this started, and I'll kind of talk through, some of the parts as the music changes, what I'm hearing there. So here we go. We'll play this. We're going on this cold. Okay, the song starts high, then goes medium, comes down a little low. Now there's a nice mix. Okay, now that low droning notes have started, just like an undertone. You hear the beatboxing is kind of in there. This is the syncopated offbeat. Okay, here in the beatboxing, it's punchy, it's tight. Okay, now we're into, it's the driving part of the song. Everything's on the beat. You got the lows going. Now listening to the lows are very tight and round, not boomy. And I know that those words are a little subjective, but boomy bass is something that I can't use. Even as a bass player, I need bass to be tight and contained so you can hear what notes you're playing. Some products, over-exaggerate the low end, but these are not doing that. I'm hearing it full, but it's tight. Now moving into, okay. So kind of going into this part of the song, we're changing, and I believe, yeah, we got the female vocals coming in. This is now like medium, mid-high frequencies. Very even. This is not punching out above everything else. It's not harsh. The entire spectrum is very even. I'm listening to the high parts, low parts, the percussion. This is a very even mix, which is exactly what I need. For an even mix, you can go into your situation, then you can start playing with it. If you need to hear more of your guitar player or less of your, one thing or another, starting from an even mix is so much easier to do that. So let me stop this for now. Even in that short amount of time, like again I said, there's a lot more that I want to test. I want to go and play with my band. I want to go and perform with these. But initial impressions is what I hope to do today for you. And I've got to say, initial impressions, these fit great. They sound really good. I can easily pick out every single region of the sound spectrum without having to listen too hard. My mind, I can mentally switch what I'm looking for, and it's right there. So honestly, I am just ending this video here with you excited. I'm super, super excited to see what these can do down the future. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so that as I post new videos, so many months down the road of how are these still holding up, you can get notified. You can check them out in case this is something you're interested in as well. So here at the end, I want to thank you as always. I hope you got something out of watching this video. And as always, until next time, play on, my friends, play on.